So it's recording now. And just let the whole thing run
Yeah.
until we go through, until we get to the end. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is obviously go through the footage that we've got, and then break it down into certain elements and certain faults and things that I've highlighted. When we look at stroke correction, there's a kind of like a stroke correction hierarchy that I kind of work through, i.e. an order that we look at things in.
Yeah.
And that's generally because you may think that you've got for example, you may think that you've got a fault with your legs sinking, and someone might go away and try and fix the problem with the legs, when in actual fact that may be caused by something further up the chain. So there's a natural sequence of events that we always follow. Okay. What do you think is your kind of main issue, would you say?
Left arm, I would say, particularly because of these fingers here. They're pretty dysfunctional.
Okay.
So that, if anything, tires that part of my hand cramps.
Okay, yeah.
Neck rotation to left, and then leg power. I feel pretty strong on my right, but I also think my position in the water is quite poor.
Okay.
I think I'm quite like that.
What about your breathing?
Breathing's poor. I breath hold far too much, but that's partly because of my ability to bilateral.
Yeah.
I find I get very fatigued if I do the right all the time, but I haven't got enough regular mobility to get that left rotation.
Yeah.
To get the breathing, and then I know if I get a bad breath there, the following strokes are falling apart a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So like it's breaking down from there, then I've got to pick up, and then I overreach here, then it all sort of follows on from that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the breathing is certainly one thing that we need to look at in quite some detail. Breathing, and then obviously your head and body position from there. Obviously, I got you to swim beforehand, and you swam 100 meters in 1 minute 30, which is 6 minutes for 400 pace, which is pretty quick. So you've obviously got some ability to get some speed there. What your endurance would be like if we kind of try to stretch that out kind of remains to be seen a little bit. But if you can go out and do 100 meters at 1:30, and then if we were to work on endurance, then you've already got a good base of speed to start from. Then I looked at your stroke rate. I took a couple of samples of your stroke rate, and it kind of varied between 56 to 58 thereabouts, which is a little tiny bit on the low side, but not excessively low. So that's something else we can look at. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start to play it through. The first thing I'll do is have a look at your head positioning and breathing. Okay. Okay, it's because you have a little chest at the beginning there. You see that all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
And are you conscious where you're looking?
Yeah, I'm always looking slightly ahead.
Okay.
Not fully up to the end of the wall, probably about 5-6 feet.
You're looking quite a long way ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not looking down. On this one, I'm following the black line, so basically keeping 4 or 5 ahead.
Okay. And in terms of your head position when you breathe, do you give that any thought, or is it just kind of naturally occurring?
I think I read somewhere about trying to get your head backwards so you're not swallowing the water. Okay. So I'm thinking about trying to do that, but other than that, not much really.
Okay. And you're only breathing on one side?
Yeah.
Do you ever breathe on the other side at all?
I do. I've been trying to the last 3 swim sessions I've done, just because I thought I'm starting from base again. Yeah. So it's probably a good time to try and instigate.
In fact, you've got a breath on the inside there, haven't you?
I don't feel like I could do that. I've probably got 3 or 4 good breaths on the left from the whole thing. Yeah. The rest felt pretty poor.
Okay. All right. So the first thing I'm looking at from this side, this is obviously the normal kind of poolside view, which is what most people get to see. In actual fact, this kind of angle doesn't allow you to see very much, and this is where the value of the kind of video footage comes in. What we can see from this particular angle is what your head is doing.
Yeah.
Ideally, your head wants to be fairly low in the water and to stay as still as possible.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because if you get the correct head positioning, you end up with a bow wave across the top of your head. I'll show you some pictures of that in a minute. that bow wave creates a little trough. So a bow wave kind of has a little kind of dent after it, which you can breathe into.
Okay.
Ideally, you should have your head down at this point, so you'd only have one goggle out of the water. Okay. So if I show you, so if you see here, look, it's quite a small image there.
Yeah.
This is so you can see the bow wave forming on the side of the head. See how the head is much flatter than yours is. Yeah. One goggle in, one goggle out, and it's called Popeye because you kind of move your mouth to the side to get the breath. What happens when you lift your head up and down? When you lift your head up and down, because you lift it quite high to breathe, that forces the legs down.
Yeah.
The higher your head,
that makes
the lower the legs. The lower the legs go down. Yeah. So your head wants to be down in that position. You can see this bow wave appears as soon as you put your head down, and that's kind of where you should be all the time in this position here. Moving the head up and then down, up and down, it destroys the bow wave, and you can kind of keep it there. If I show you some footage.
So would that be affected partly by where I'm trying to look as well in the pool?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Yeah, absolutely. You may have seen this clip around actually. This is a guy called Jono van Hazel, who's an Olympic athlete. And if you look at his head, it stays perfectly still throughout the entire stroke. And you almost can't see his head move. He's actually turned to breathe at that point. Always in the same position, doesn't lift it up, doesn't lift it down. It's kind of, he's always rotating around the central point. And there we go, there's the Popeye breathing. Look, bow wave, bit of a dent there, breathing into that. Okay, so we'll do some work on head positioning.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do some exercises and have a kind of experiment with your how you feel in different head positions. And Popeye breathing really is a case of we'll work on body position, which will improve it anyway. But it's something you can just practice. Almost trying to aim for split vision while you're swimming.
Yeah.
So you've got one eye above the water, one eye below. And some of this stuff is, as long as you're conscious of it, it's something that you can start to try and work on. All right. It's quite a big issue to start with. So lifting the head to breathe. Looking forwards, as you said, we'll have a closer look under the water in a minute. Looking forwards, again, lifts the head, which again has a tendency to drop the legs down. When we're breaking down a stroke, there's a couple of things there's two kind of main elements, if you like. There's things which create drag and things which create propulsion. Okay. And all the things we kind of start off with really are the drag creating things, and we'll move on to the propulsion things a little bit further down the chain. You've got some decent propulsion because you can swim 130 for 100. If we can reduce the drag down, it's going to make quite a big difference. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so
I mean that explains as well because like here through traps, back of the neck always gets really tight.
Yeah.
I think losing the belly would help as well, wouldn't it?
Everyone hates this view. Everyone hates this view. Women are normally quite funny when we get onto this bit. But in fact, saying that, the blokes are just as bad, to be fair.
Definitely.
Okay, so what I'm looking at here then is the breathing. Okay. The number one thing, and this is the hierarchy we kind of look at. So we start down here, and you fix these things before you move up. Okay. Breathing, exhalation, relaxation. Number one thing. Okay. Because everything leads on from there. If you can get relaxed and get rhythmical with your breathing, then everything else seems easier. Okay. Holding your breath has a direct impact on the rest of your body position. Creates a build-up of CO2, makes you feel more anxious, makes you rush to get your breath. And holding oxygen in your air in your lungs causes the back end to drop as well, which creates drag again. Okay.
Seen me swim before, haven't you?
to be honest. This is standard.
Yeah.
You know, most people are the same. And some of the drills I'll get you to do are pretty basic, and almost you're kind of slightly embarrassed to do the sink down drill, for example, in a public pool. But it is good practice, and it kind of demonstrates the point. Right, what I'm trying to find is where you breathe, and then we can have a look at what's going on with your breath. There we go, look, that's what I was waiting for. Okay, so, breathe. We've got an issue with the lead arm collapsing here, which we'll look at in a minute. That is causing you to have to lift your head higher.
Okay.
That lead arm should stay high and provide the support for you to get your breath. Because it sinks, you're having to go like that and lift your head up. Okay. But we'll have a look at that in a bit more detail. So, turn your head to breathe. As soon as you turn your head to breathe, look what happens to the body position. Drops down here.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll move on to your hands and things in a minute. So you've got that breath, you've got that air in your lungs at the moment. You're looking forwards. So you're kind of looking in this direction here. Okay. Again, which has a direct impact on the position of the body. Okay. So if we draw a line up here, you know, your body is down at kind of 12 degrees, 13 degrees or something. Ideally, we want all this to be the backside to be